Let's take everything that we've learned from 4-track cassette production and upgrade to 8-track, half-inch reel-to-reel. Let's go. Hey guys, Andy Pickering here. So today's video is all about the Tascam 38. So if you saw my last video, the Catalina Don't Be Unkind, where I broke down the writing process more, that was actually mixed on the 8-track, finished on the 8-track, but started on the 4-track. So what I want is this song to be uniquely, fully on the Tascam reel-to-reel, from the start to the end. Now obviously I've done a lot of recording on the 4-track. The Marantz sounds great, love the machine, but I mean the 38,
a vastly superior machine.
Exactly. You can tell when you're working with it, it's just instantly a huge step up. I'm going to be recording my final song from the EP that I've been doing throughout all these videos. The song is called A Different Age, and I have a little demo of it here. I've been living in a different age, but every time I try to go update, I can't stop crying that I did today. Okay, so yeah, bluesy little number, a bit of a tongue-in-cheek lyric about being dissatisfied with living in the modern age. And how, you know, I mean, looking at my studio here, living in the past quite a bit, but obviously for good reason. So I enlisted the help of Joe from All You Need Is Drums. We're going back to the drum studio, but we're taking the 8-track with us. And got Will Harrison, my bass player, my good friend, coming in to do some bass. And also another good friend called Richard Jackson is going to be helping me out on some lead guitar. So without further ado, let's get into this. Let's break down the machine and then get on with the recording. So the Tascam 38, I believe, is 38 years old, as it's from 1983. And it's very basic. It has no preamps on it, so you've got to use your desk or your external preamps. And it's got 8 in, 8 out RCAs on the back. It's got an auto return, which is handy, as long as you make sure you've got it set to 0 at the start of your song. Input, basically you'll be playing and you'll get your VU going, getting your signal on your channel. Then you head into sync mode. That is for tracking, because it's got 2 heads, remember, so if you were just using the reproduction head, it would be out of sync. And then that's when you select your track and you'll hear what you've got coming through. And then repro is just playing what's on the tape once you're finished. We've got a pitch control, an edit function, which I don't really know, understand. I've never needed to edit tape. And Q, that just when you're rewinding and fast forwarding, you can sort of hear what's on the tape. And that's it.
Okay, so here we are again in the All You Need Is Drums drum studio, and we have the 8-track. So we've got the drums, the usual drum rig. If you watch the last video, you'll sort of recognize this. And basically we've got the 8-track set up for 3 tracks of drums and 1 track of acoustic guitar. And then we've overdubbed some live percussions as well. So let's just play back what we've got. Kick, snare, percussion, and acoustic. Unfortunately, this monitoring situation through this 4-track, it's Joe's 4-track, is 244. The monitoring situation is not ideal because we've only got 4 inputs, and the room mic is not being monitored at the minute because we overdubbed the percussion here, and we needed a channel to just listen to that back. But yeah, bit of cowbell, more cowbell, but yeah, sounding really great. And that's going to be overdubbed in my studio and finished off, and let's go back down the motorway to Sheffield. Okay, so we have arrived. So let's just quickly run through what we've got. So I've got this into a stage where I'm ready to bounce the drums down, basically. So as it stands, we've got on track 1 the percussion track where me, Joe and Rory in the studio did it all in one take. Now I'm going to leave that and not bounce that with the drums. So we've got kick, snare and a overhead, 2, 3 and 4. 5 is the acoustic, which I'm going to leave. So this is the drums. This is the mix of the drums that I've got coming through here that I want to bounce down to mono in one track. So like I say, I'm going to leave the acoustic and percussion as they are and just get these drums bounced down, basically. So how we're going to do that is that all these drum tracks are bussed to number 2. And then there's going to be a direct out of that bus going into my patch bay into one of the inputs of the tape machine. And I'm going to record that onto another track. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to experiment here, and I'm going to notch the pitch control up to while I'm doing the record of the drums. So the drums are going to be recorded at a higher pitch, and then when I return the pitch back to normal on the bounce track, it's going to, yeah, hopefully sound cool. Okay, so everything is lined up now. I've got my speed notched up. I've got my cable coming out the back of the bus out, bus number 2 out and into the input of the tape machine. We're going on to track 6, and as you can hear, the drums are sped up. Okay, so we are now pitch control back to where it was. Drum track is recorded. Everything's muted now except the track that I've bounced onto. Super happy with the mix of those drums. Incredible. Acoustic. Percussion. Okay, so the drums are bounced down now, and we've got a finished drum track on one track. We've got percussion, acoustic, and the next thing is for bass. So I'm going to invite my bass player from my band, the Telmos,
and my own solo stuff as well, to come into the studio and whack down some bass on what we've got. So I wanted him to do some sort of fuzzy kind of bass sound. So yeah, let's see how we get on with that, and let's do this bass. Bass went down onto track 7. That nice fuzzy sound, and we achieved that using a Mojo guitar pedal. It's the exact sound I had in my head really for this track. Blend beautifully with those drums. And we've got, yeah, a nice basic track now. Very nice basic track, ready to overlay some vocals. I've gone with the RE10, the Electro Voice mic. So down with the vocals, double tracked, tracks 2 and 3. We've got it coming through on 1, direct out. Going into the compressor, I've got the settings as all buttons in. I want like a hyper compression for this. Just seems to be working better. As you can see, I've got my patch bay there going into the compressor, out of the compressor, and into the track. So let's get some vocals tracked. I can't stop hiding from my own dismay. It's easy in the twilight, deep inside your mind's eye. Right, good stuff. Vocals are down, double tracked, tracks 2 and 3. Time I try to go up there. It worked really well with that. All buttons in, compression. Okay, so I've got a real nice vocal chain here now. So we've got track 2 and 3, double track vocals, bus to 4. And then I've got a direct out of the bus coming out of the back, going onto the tape. And then I've got the tape set to IEC, which is the tape head playing back, so creating the delay. And then down here I've got out of the reel to reel into my reverb, out of my reverb into the Pultec style EQ, which is then taking the low end off the reverb, boosting some of the highs, and then rolling off the real top. And then I'm compressing it here. Then it's coming out of the compressor here into the tape machine on track number 8. Okay, that's recorded down onto track 8 now. Let's play a bit of that back. So as you can see, it's recorded actually on the tape now, so there's no effects running in real time. That's actually recorded. Extreme effect. And I'll just get the perfect blend. And I'm going to bounce them onto 4. And then that's going to leave me up 3 tracks
left. And that's going to be a lead vocal track that when I'm mixing, it's done. Sounds great. Eat your heart out any plugin that's going to sound as good as that. So we've got a direct out of 4, which has my floating direct out, which I just change on the back of the here, but it always stays the same in the patch bay, and it's going just direct into 4. No messing about with this one, no additional effects. All the effects have already been recorded on there. So, and what I'm going to do while it's recording down is in any of the gaps where I'm not singing, I'm going to essentially do a manual noise gate where I'm going to mute, say where the solo is in the middle, I'll mute the tracks and unmute them when I'm singing. And that's just going to create life a little bit easier for me, so there's no noise on the track that I'm recording onto at a later date. I mean, there's probably not going to be any interfering noise that you would audibly hear when all the mix is turned up, but it just makes life a little bit easier. So that's also a nice thing once you've, like I say, done all your processing and you've bounced down and you've got your final thing on your final track, the final sound, boom, it's done. That's absolute favourite part of all this. We're just ready to go, basically.
I've been living in a different age, and every time I try to go up.
And let's have a look at what we've got then. So we've got that original percussion track there, acoustic, drums, bass, and now all the vocals. Coming along nicely. I'll be leaving on an aeroplane to southern skies of maybe Saint-Tropez. I can't stop trying to be out this place. Right, I've double tracked the backing vocal with a couple of additional harmonies in there. And I've just recorded the second one on channel 2. Now I'm going to mix those together and bounce them onto number 8. So I'm going to do that live now and actually record it now.
I've been living in a different age,
I'm doing that at a lower speed.
and every time I try to go update,
Just messing with the vari-speed stuff.
I can't stop crying that I live today.
And basically I've got
Everybody
them bus to 4
in a marketplace,
and 4 going directly onto the tape. But then I've got a loop
with no one
on the bus of 4
speaking
going
face
into
to face.
the spring reverb. So
I can't stop hiding from my own dismay.
right, see how that's worked out then.
It's easy in the twilight, deep inside your mind's eye, thoughts and fears remain.
So we've just got the backing vocals on this track now. These two are gone.
Leaving on an aeroplane to southern skies, it may be Saint-Tropez. I can't stop dying to be out this place.
So yeah. And that's basically just left me these 2 tracks now to do some lead stuff, and then we're going to be ready for a mix. I've got my good friend Rick coming round, and he's going to bring his 1961 copy Stratocaster. It's a Fender,
Real nice sounding guitar, and we're just going into the AC4 at 1/4 watts to distort it. Then we're going all buttons in on the KT76, and we're going straight onto the tape, onto track 2. Guitar is down, completely dry. When it comes to the mix down, I might put a bit of spring reverb on it, but I'm completely happy with it at the moment. Oh, we're rocking now. Lead guitar done. So that leaves one thing left on channel 3, and I'm going to put some filicorder organ on that now, just to give it a bit of texture. It's not going to be an in-your-face part. This song's getting, I wouldn't say busy, but it's getting layered up to a point of where I'm happy with not continuing to add a lot of stuff. And to be fair, I've got one track left, so I've not got much choice. I don't want to bounce anything else down, so let's get on with some organ, and then this is going to be a wrap. Okay, so the organ's down now, and that is the final track of the track. And let's have a little tiny playback of that. Just mostly stabs really, and a bit of texture. Nothing, won't be that loud, but I just drew this up as a visual reference really, so you can see where things have ended up. Obviously the boxes around the words are the final thing that are on the tape. As you can see, the percussion never moved, but then 2, 3 and 4 was the kick, snare and overhead to start with, got bounced onto 6. Then you've got on 2 and 3 lead vocals. On 8 you've got the delay, which got bounced onto 4. And then, yeah, 2 and 3 again, the backing vocals, then they ended up getting bounced onto 8. And then we ended up, 2 lead guitar, 3 organ. The acoustic never moved from the original session, and also the bass was just tracked onto 7, and that also never moved. But as you can see, a fair bit of bouncing and things moving around. I never really planned on exactly where I was going to put things. I just remember reading on a forum when I was getting the machine, oh, maybe don't put bass and drums on the outside tracks. I think that this machine's set up well enough not to have any issues with doing that, but that's why I started with 2, 3 and 4 and then ended up putting the bass on 7 just from that advice. Whether that's good advice or only relative if it's a machine that's not lined up properly, I'm not sure, but I just thought I'd go with that anyway. So yeah, there you go. That's the final lineup of the tracks, and it is time for a mix. So I've got a little bit of compression going on
on track 1 on the percussion and a tiny bit of spring reverb going on the guitar. No other processing live while I'm mixing down. And we're all mixing just on these faders here, and everything's bussed to the master buses there, which is then being recorded. So I'm recording this straight off the 38 to digital so you can get the best representation of the sound of the machine. I would like to mix it onto the Revox maybe at a later date, but at the moment this is just the best way. So without further ado, I'm going to hit play and you're going to hear the finished mix coming through your speakers. Enjoy.
I've been living in a different age, and every time I try to go update, I can't stop crying that I live today. Everybody's in a marketplace, but no one ever speaking face to face. I can't stop hiding from my own dismay. It's easy in the twilight, deep inside your mind's eye. Thoughts and fears remain in the dark. I'll be leaving on an aeroplane to southern skies and maybe Saint-Tropez. I can't stop dying to be out this place. It's easy in the twilight, deep inside your mind's eye, where thoughts and fears remain in the dark. I've been living in an outer phase, and everyone I meet here is insane. I can't stop crying that I live today. I can't stop trying to get out today.
Okay, and there we have the song. The EP is finished. Finally. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I mean, 100 times better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, you know, you never know what a recording's going to sound like, but, you know, a big thanks to Joe, like, absolutely nailed it with the drums. Just the exact, perfect 60s style drumming that I absolutely love. And what a sound we got. A big thanks to Joe as well for doing the percussion, and Rory for doing that cowbell, which adds a lot to that section. A big thanks to Will for doing a great bass line, and a big thanks to Rick Jackson also on the guitar. He absolutely nailed it. I mean, how good does that Strat sound? Just a complete natural. I mean, there's no pedals, there's nothing. Like, honestly, just a bit of compression and a natural guitar sound, and that's it. And yeah, it's all come together fantastically. So you can find my EP on Bandcamp if you check the link below. And exclusive to Bandcamp, if you want to purchase the album, you're going to get a lot of bonus tracks with it as well.
different mixes of Catalina, different versions of Catalina, a different mix of this track where I did a super 60s mix with extreme panning, like Rubber Soul stereo, you know, that kind of extreme silly kind of panning where you've got drums on one side, vocals on the other side, completely separate. I just for fun did a mix of that. The original version of I Just Want to Be Somewhere High is on there as well, the 4-track version. And also, if you remember right back at the start of when I was doing videos, I did 2 instrumentals. One of them has made it onto the EP, the other one's on the bonus tracks. But the EP is going to be on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that. But you're not going to get the bonus tracks on there. And so the EP is called Catalina Don't Be Unkind. And yes, check the links below. And please support me by downloading a copy. And also, if you do download the copy, you're going to get the proper WAV files. You know, you're going to get the full quality. Now, the mixes that I put in the videos are my own masters. The master that you're going to hear, the proper released one, has gone off to Rare Tone Mastering, a guy called Ben, fantastic studio. I'll also link him below as well. And, you know, it's professionally mastered for the release. I just wanted to also add that I'm very happy to announce that I'm now doing a remote keyboards recording service, also mixing as well. If you want to work with me, get in touch via the website or Instagram, anything like that, and I'll be more than happy to talk about your music.